Man, they ain't got it like that, man. Hating when we shine, but sleeping when we grind. Make a nigga lose his mind. How you got it like that?
Yo, everybody, check it out, check it out. This is another segment of the Wild Wait podcast. You feel me? And of course, yo, I ain't got nothing else but the best guest you can possibly sit down with.
Yeah.
And I promise you must not have social media. You don't have a phone. You just don't watch music videos. You don't listen to music. You don't do anything in 2022 if you never heard of this man or understand who this is in front of me.
Right.
So this really goes without no introduction, but I'm still let you go ahead and introduce yourself, give you the same respect as everybody else. If you would, sir.
Yes,
Go ahead
sir.
and tell everybody your name and what it is you do.
My name is Philip. Last name Pino. Nah, I'm just playing. My name Rayzr, man. I'm a videographer, producer, engineer. You know what I'm saying? Got you. Artist. I babysit on weekends, and I give high fives to pretty girls. You know what I'm saying? So I'm Mr. All the Above. Mr. All the Above.
Mr. All the Above, man. You've been doing a lot. We definitely can peep you how much you do. How long have you been Mr. All the Above? How long you got started?
I've been doing this. I've been doing music for about 16, 17 years, I believe. And I've been producing for just as long. I'll say like 15, 16 years. You know what I mean? As far as videography goes, I've been doing that for like 5 years on and off. You know what I mean? So I got a couple 10,000 hours in, I guess you could say.
Man, it definitely looks way more than 10,000 hours when we monitor how much you're putting out there.
Mhm.
So far, so out of these 15 years, how many projects do you think you probably dropped?
Dropped probably like I say in the CD era when everybody was dropping like CDs and shit like that, I had put out a good 5 physical copies of CDs, albums. And then in the digital era, right now, if you look me up, I got 17 albums out on Apple Music and all the streaming platforms. So, yeah.
17. Now, out of them 17, man, you have some pretty interesting names for them, the project. You want to go into maybe, is there any specific science how you name your project?
Man, for real, I'm a cool dude. Like I like to come up with like certain puns or certain things that go with my music. Like I got an album called a series called Caviar and Kool-Aid. That's like the best of both worlds, the rich and the ghetto. I got a project called Raised for Days, Lost, which stands for the last of someone talented. I got what else I got? Extra Credit, 1, 2, and 3. Um, the way I come up with the names of it, I wait until like I'm at least midway done with my album before I start coming up with names. So whatever that particular sound gives me, I kind of, you know what I mean, just throw some shit out there. You know what I mean? Just comes, man. I don't even know how it comes.
So speaking of, I guess, capsulating the sound in the project, how would you describe maybe your sound overall as an artist so far?
Overall, I got an up south sound. You know, it's not quite dirty south, but it's also not quite up north. It's more like a mixture of kind of sort of old school beats. Like I like real jazzy, smooth beats, and then I like fast paced beats. So basically merging the two, merging the old school production sound with the new school uh rap cadences and shit like that. That's what I'm into. You know, I feel like I got my own sound, low key. You know, I don't feel like I'm too much comparable to other artists, but I try to stand out. You know, I really try to stand out. So that's the best way to describe my sound. It's just a mixture of old school and new school that just merged together. Try to keep it authentic.
I like that. Nice blend. You know what I'm saying? A nice blend of the best of both worlds. And speaking of being the best of both worlds, you definitely do the music and the videos. So, how many videos have you shot?
I shot at least 500 music videos. 500 music videos to date. You know, I deal with a lot of artists, a lot of rappers. I got a lot of videos myself. I got a production team, so the video thing is one thing that I always keep on the ball rolling on. Those never stop or slow down. I keep going with those. I'm at 500.
That's part time, y'all.
That's part time.
Understand? He's still rapping out here. That's
Still
part time.
rapping,
That's
still
500.
engineering,
Huh?
still
Okay.
engineering for others, and still doing the shit for myself, and still
Still
doing the
got
videos.
500. You ain't even got it for yourself, man. Get off your ass and stop waiting, man.
Exactly.
So how would you describe your style, maybe as far as shooting your videos then?
My style of shooting is well, like I'm still like as of now, 2022, the end of 2022, I'm still developing my own personal style. I kind of take bits and pieces from all the people that I follow as far as the videographers go, like Cole Bennett, of course, um, JP, Jerry Productions, I guess you could say. Just a lot of different people. I kind of learn because that's the real authentic way of learning. You learn from other people that you look up to or whatever, and you take a little bit of their sauce or whatever. So now that I've taken so much sauce, it's like now I'm trying to figure out my own sauce. And as of the last 2 months, I've really been diving deep into different transitions and effects and stuff that come with videos. And I'm starting to step more into cinematic videos as opposed to videos that have like a ton of effects in them and stuff like that. So it's still a developing style, but I feel like I got a little sauce. You know what I mean? Especially with 500 videos. I might have a style that I can't even say what my style is. It's more so what the people that my work is attached to that kind of give me the feedback on what my style is.
Well, let's give you the feedback, right? So if I've never heard of you, right, what's one of the songs or projects you might recommend I listen to?
Definitely Rayzr for Days 2.
Why that one particular?
Rayzr for Days 2 got a bunch of different style of music that I make. Um you got your up pace, talk spit type songs, and then you got your very low key, lo-fi type sounds on there. Then you got it's overall me. It's just a mixture of who I am, the different layers of myself. Because that's basically how I make my music. I just tap into the different layers of myself, different personalities that I have. So Raised for Days 2 is probably the best project that I have that really showcases my talent, my skills, and myself as far as just putting myself out there more and for people to understand.
What about so we can understand you maybe as a videographer? What video would you recommend we go check out?
Um the video that I recommend y'all check out that I shot would probably be honestly the most recent video I dropped as of today, the end of November, 2022. It is called Blackout. It's on the project Fanland, Virginia 2. But the video is dope. We shot it in an abandoned business. We got a location that has like a bunch of abandoned businesses and stuff. So we picked a dope ass spot. I got my boy T Rock to film me since I can't really shoot the video myself. So got my man T Rock to film the video, get me the footage, and I pretty much edited the way I wanted it to look, the way I envisioned it when we shot it. But that's probably the best video that really showcases my skills as a videographer and an editor. So, check that joint out. Called Blacked Out, like I said.
And maybe outside of these particular projects, you would recommend what are maybe some of the proudest moments, career wise you've experienced, even from a musical and or videographer standpoint?
So the proudest moments that I didn't have, as far as the videographer goes, um, would probably have to be when I had shot a video for Styles P. So in 2018, I was hit up by a group from Virginia who had a song that Styles P had featured on them with, and Styles P ended up coming down here to do a show. And while he was down here, he decided to do the video for me. So they seeked me out. I linked up with them, met up with Styles P, and got some footage in the studio and at a bando. And it was really dope because at the time it was early in my career as far as being a videographer. That was the first year I actually picked up the camera and got serious with it. Didn't have all the high tech equipment and the lights. All I had was drive and a camera. And excuse me. I remember I remember holding the camera and shaking. Like I was shaking because I was so nervous. And I'm trying to record this video. I'm going in and out and moving the camera all these different ways. And I remember Styles P, after the first take, he was like, "All right, come here, man. Stand right here. Hold the camera still. Got you." And he started directing all the people for me. And the shot that he told me to get ended up being like one of the dopest shots that I've shot in my earlier career. So I took that information and applied that to future videos. You know what I mean? So shout out to Styles P for that. But that probably was the most memorable moment as a videographer, for real. You know what I mean? I shot for a couple of other celebrities and stuff, but that one top. That one's probably the most memorable because that was like that. Like I say, it was the early days in doing this shit for real, for real. You know what I'm saying?
Have you experienced like a memorable moment, like artistically or as an artist yourself?
Yeah. I like it's so hard to pick, but as far as the artist goes, the most rememberable would be when I opened up for Redman and Method Man at the Norval. You know what I'm saying? It was a dope show. I never performed for that many people. I'm only used to rocking crowds of like 100, maybe 150. But to be able to go to a venue as large as the Norval and perform at a scale with all these people, it was dope, bro. It was real dope. You know what I mean? Like it was a feeling that I can't describe, but it was very like I always tell people that I've always been chasing that high because it's almost like you high. When I got on stage, I blacked out. I ain't see nobody. I ain't see nobody in the crowd, but I just felt the energy in there. Like I felt like this is my moment right here. You know what I mean? This is what I worked hard for. And of course, like now that I'm older, I wish I can go back because I didn't pick the right songs for that particular show. You know what I mean? Like so. Um, Yeah, I would say opening up for Redman and Method Man at the Nova in 2018. No, no, no. This was 2015. 2015 when I did that. Matter of fact, I'm tripping. You know what? This was a while ago. This was actually 2012. So this is before my daughter was born when I performed there. So yeah, so that was the most memorable moment. That was 10 years ago, and nothing really has topped that since then. Shout out to Redman, Method Man, and the Nova. I mean,
Redman, Method Man, Styles P, man. We dropping some names early.
early,
We just
man.
getting started, yo.
Early.
So even getting started and the amount of work you put in speaks for itself. But how do you think other people perceive you? Maybe like in a brand over belief kind of situation. Do you feel like you're very well branded as more of an artist or a videographer, or do people kind of see otherwise?
That's one of the things that I've struggled with as far as my recognition, because nobody ever. It's only a handful of people that really know me overall. Like a lot of people either know me from the music or the videos. So like I'll go around people and they introduce themselves and I'll be like, "Yo, what's up, man? My name Rayzr." They be like, "Oh, you the videographer?" You know what I'm saying? They let it be known what they know me from. Um, I really don't. That's why, like, even going into this interview, like, I really don't like putting certain names or hats on because overall, I'm a creator. That's like the best. That's like the best hat that I can say that really describes what I do and who I am is a creator. You know what I mean? So it's all good. It's all relatively dope though, as far as like having that recognition as an artist at sometimes and having that recognition as a videographer, but I'm really trying to merge all that together. So branding is definitely important. One of the things that I've done over the last couple of years is separate my music page from my videography page. So I can shine the way that I want to in certain areas. So if you go to my Shop by Rayzr Instagram page, I don't really post a lot of videos of myself, or I don't post any of my songs or whatever. It's like more so a combination of everybody I shot for. And vice versa, it goes for my music page. I don't post anybody else's music on my page. It's not nothing against anybody or whatever, but that's my time to really, showcase my talent as an artist versus showcasing myself as a videographer. I try to keep both of those separate, two separate entities, so that way you know what you're getting when you go to my page. You know what I'm saying? Like you're getting some dope music if you go to my music page. You're getting some dope videos when you go to my video page. You know what I'm saying? I don't never try to really merge the two together. Like I said, that's as far as the branding goes, it's still a challenge, like I said, to really get the recognition that you want. So until I really get that overall wholesome recognition that I'm looking for, I'm gonna keep separating the two so that way I can shine when I want to in phases. Or both hats, I guess.
For sure, for sure. So as we can already see, that took a lot of figuring out. So since you've been figuring it out for 15 years now, do you take it back to actually maybe like the first day you got started? Do you even further? Do you remember the first day you even had the idea you were going to be an artist?
Oh nah, man, like this shit started. I was a teen, bro. Like when I started out, it's funny how I started out. Like I didn't even. It's like this thing led to this thing. Like I remember before I even started doing music, I was playing basketball all the time. Go to the court, play ball every day from school letting out all the way to nighttime.
Would you say that was probably like maybe your first passion in life?
That was my sports was definitely my first passion. And then I remember seeing the movie Juice. And I used to see the little turntable scene. So DJing actually was my next passion. I got into DJing. I got into really being able to control music, with my hands, like control these records and stuff like that. And I remember back then I used to do a lot of mixes and blends. And I remember I had blended the Like Whoa by Black Rob acapella with the Root song Got Me. And I remember I had both of them Jones playing on the turntable, and when they started playing, like just blending together, I was like, "Yo, that's crazy!" Like I was tripping because it sounded real dope, and that's actually what got me into producing. Like I was really interested in like really like making my own beats and putting acapellas on my own beats of real artists, so it sounded like they getting on my stuff. And I remember one time, like all this is back in the LimeWire days, down the legal downloading days and
What
stuff
program
like
were
that.
you using when you was making beats?
Man, I was using Magic Maker Pro and Sony Sound Force, man. Y'all look that up. That's some ancient shit for you, boy. Magic Maker Pro 7. I was 14, bro.
So you still had the big desk. Still had the best desktop computer. You had to
Well,
share.
no. Matter of fact, I had a laptop. Okay, so I had a ThinkPad laptop, an IBM old ass laptop.
Mm.
And it's funny because, like I said, I used to play ball, so I used to bring CDs with me to the court and try to play. With I had Walkman back then, so I used to try to keep the CD player in my pocket and headphones on and listen to music while I play ball. But I ain't had no skip through shit, so I was like, man, fuck that. Bring this laptop to the court. And I remember I put my Jeezy CD in, and it started playing from instead of it playing from like music, Windows Music Player, it started playing from Magic Maker, and I didn't even know I had that shit on the program. Like I didn't know I had it on the laptop. So once it started playing from that, I'm like, what is this program? What is this on my computer? And that's what actually that same night I went home just to kind of fuck around with it, just to see what it was, and it ended up being like a beat program or whatever. So that's what really got me into actually physically doing the production is like just discovering that program and seeing that you can add loops together. They didn't have like one shots and shit. Magic Maker Pro just had a whole bunch of loops that you just keep putting together and stuff like that to make the beat. But we was getting it in as kids, you know what I'm saying?
And you said did you have anybody else around you influencing that?
Yeah, I had a partner. My partner in crime back then was my boy Stan, aka Peanut, man. Like he's actually the one that got me really into being an artist, like a rapper, because I was only into producing back then. The only thing that I would do was put the loops together or whatever. Didn't know how to rap a lick, but Peanut, he already was rapping. He already was writing verses. So he the one that motivated me to, yo, let's go get a little karaoke mic and record stuff. He used to ask me, can you record in that beat program? And I figured out that you can. So I used to just start off with just recording him. I didn't even record music. And then it was I guess he ended up getting busy to where he couldn't come, record anything. So I had to do it myself in order to keep, my beats going or whatever. So that's really when I started like really taking the music shit a little bit more serious as far as like writing and making my own songs. And it's funny because I still got the very first song that I recorded to this day. Like all my first project, yes, it was the Fresh Prince of Bel Air theme song, and I took the beginning of that shit and I just kept looping it and looping it and looping it, and I made a whole song. Stole the cadences and the structure of his song, and I like made my own genre. You know what I mean? And by that time, Peanut he was back motivated, so he ended up getting the second verse. And man, we was just really motivated as kids. Like this is before, social media, and this is before like even YouTube. Like this is when YouTube first started, like way back in the day, bro. But you know, we was just passionate. We just really, 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 really love this music shit. Like, but we was just doing it, man, having a ball with the shit.
No, definitely understand. I think curiosity, definitely is is a good starting point, and it seems like you got you got started because it was interesting, and you found out you loved it, right?
Right,
At the initial concept of it.
right, yeah.
But even growing into becoming your own artist nowadays, have you found more reason or more purpose to keep going?
Yes, I definitely have. I definitely found more purpose to keep going. Um, you know, uh, cause I don't really make music to get on. You know what I'm saying? Like I never really sat down and made a song and said, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be a single that I'm gonna stop and do all this." Like I think every time that I tried to do some shit like that, it just didn't feel authentic. It felt like I wasn't doing music for the right reason. You know, of course, everybody want to get on, everybody want their stuff to be heard and stuff like that. But for me, it's a little bit more different being a creator because um, it's been plenty of times that I wanted to quit, but I be getting like messages from people that say, "Yo, your music keeps me pushing." Your music is dope. I really listen to it, like, and I'm sometimes I'll get tagged by people that I didn't even know that listen to my shit. So like, it's always that little push that cause like I said, it's discouraging when you feel like that the only reason why you doing music is for money and for fame. You know what I mean? It's discouraging because you only working towards that. So your sound sounds more like you're working towards that. You know what I mean? But with me, I try to be very transparent in my music. I try to be real authentic so that way, the real me resonates with multiple people instead of it just being like something that you just want to play to turn up. Like it's a different approach to it all, you know what I'm saying? So that creativeness and that freedom that I have to be able to create what I want to is what keeps me pushing as far as like what keeps me motivated to keep going and stuff like that. So
That's dope. Creative freedom,
yeah,
impact, being impactful. Just not
right.
just recognized, but actually being impactful.
Exactly.
And so, what impacted you, I guess, creatively to make you decide doing music wasn't enough, and you decided to pick up a camera?
Oh, well, that's funny. I picked up the camera because I felt like why did I pick up the camera, man? I mean, like I didn't. It's not no real. Like I just wanted to experiment and try. I didn't know that I would be where I'm at now with the camera shit. Let's just say that first. I didn't know that I would be as interested. I didn't know that I was going to be shooting 500 videos. I didn't know that I was going to meet Styles P. Like none of that shit really went through my head. I just knew that I needed to record some music videos, and I'm not paying a nigga $400 to keep doing my shit. So that's really what made me pick that camera up for real. But I remember when I first picked that camera up and I tried to shoot a music video, and the footage was all fucking wobbly, and we just was shooting that shit anywhere. Like, oh, let's go over here underneath the school bus and get a shot. Like, just recording places that didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't, I ain't gonna speak on my partner, but I didn't understand what a music video consisted of, like as far as shooting it and all that shit. So I was like winging that shit. That shit was terrible, man. But over time, like just like anything that you work and you practice on, practice makes progression. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes progression. You know what I mean? So every time I would go out there and practice, I would get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better to a point where it's like, all right, now I'm getting somewhere. Now what? You know what I mean? Like it was just, I'm a fan of myself, so like that's needed when you're trying to get somewhere with, you trying to do when we start off with nothing, for the video came from.
Okay, and I seen you had a little learning curve there, just trying to figure it out by yourself. But even then, did you have like I know you mentioned a partner? Did you have like maybe other mentors to teach you, or was it like with YouTube University up? How'd you learn how to or how
Um,
figure it out outside of trial and error?
well, when I first started out, I had somebody. Before I picked the camera up, I had a videographer named Alexander J. They used to shoot a lot of my videos and shit like that. So I used to ask him for tips and pointers and shit. And when he gave them to me, I would apply them. But if it wasn't him, then definitely YouTube University. YouTube taught me everything that I know how to do now. YouTube and actually being hands on and going out there and taking them risks and them passion projects. Those are certain things that you shoot that you just want to see where it goes and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like I did a lot of those. Um, and like I say, just over time, I just got better and better with it.
Definitely gotta put that work in. So how does all putting in this work artistically and putting in this work as a videographer, how does that all lead up to the creation of the Hit Lab where we are today?
The creation of the Hit Lab, man. Hit Lab started out as just idea. Um, I just got my check and I was like, I want my own building so I don't gotta worry about, the neighbors and traffic coming to my crib and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So I remember I signed the lease, the dude gave me the lease like it wasn't nothing, put down $600 and I was in a big ass empty space with nothing in it. And I remember sitting around looking around like, man, what have I gotten myself into? Because it literally was just a big ass space, and I had my little ass computer, little ass laptop. My stuff only used to take up a small corner of a big old room, and I used to struggle. I struggled when I first got hit lab. You know what I'm saying? Like I struggled because I didn't have it figured out. Like I said, I just had the drive and the ambition, but I didn't have the money and I didn't have the equipment. So I had to figure something out, and I figured it out. I figured it out. I just stayed consistent. I never quit my job. I still was working. That's the big thing that people forget. Like sometimes you gotta work that 9 to 5 in order to support your dreams. You know what I'm saying? So I would never quit my jobs. I used to work 2, 3 jobs just so I can get equipment for the studio and be able to still pay my rent and live. You know, um, because of course I had a kid at the time. So like just trying to like divide all this money and over time, like I just never gave up on Hit Lab. I would pay my rent late. You know what I mean? Like fuck it. I get a late fee, but I would do everything in my power to keep this shit. You know what I mean? And then after over time, I I networked and linked up with other people that was just like me. And I opened my door to them. Hey, come in and let's do this together. And over time, like this shit just ended up developing into something that was way bigger than what I really expected. Of course, it took some time. It took about 4 years. You know what I mean? But after those 4 years, like I had such a solid foundation because I took this shit so serious. You know what I mean? Like I really treated this shit like it was my baby. And it just developed into something real dope. Headquarters. Hit that.
Where it really all happens and everything just continues to, manifest from here. It's a
Right.
lot of memories made here.
Yeah.
And even just speaking of how we got to this point, right?
Hmm.
What is like, I guess some of the because owning a store, owning a business is a lot different from running a Instagram page. Like, let's be real, right? So, what's
Right.
like some of the best business advice or lessons you probably learned as far as running a studio, for example?
Um, be some best advice is be reputable, be serious about what you do. One of the things that I noticed is that a lot of artists they go to these studios and I be hearing certain stories about how people be paying these outrageous prices and they stuff don't they leave the studio not satisfied. And me being an artist actually helps me run a studio the way that I would want it to be ran. It's similar to being a bank robber and a bank teller. Like you both got inside, like the bank teller got the inside, the bank robber. You know what I mean? They coming in there. I'm both. Like I'm the driver, the shooter. Um, you gotta really understand what it is that you are providing for the people, because the whole thing is that you want people to come back. It's not about the money; it's about the business. So if you give people good business and good service, then it's a lot for them to return and want to spend their money and want to tell other people about how professional you are and tell people about their experience. So I'm big on making sure that people get their money. You know what I mean? Like I try my hardest to make sure I'm there for people. I answer my phone when I can. Or just making sure that I set people up even if I can't do it. You know, if I can't engineer their session or whatever. I make sure that they are still taken care of. Like I take people's services very serious. That's some advice that I learned through doing this.
Do you have a specific example where maybe that became ever so true? Like that kind of revealed itself.
What you mean?
Just the fact of do you have like maybe an experience where you going that extra mile and providing value actually paid you more than that maybe session in itself?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I got stories of where I got paid more than what I told people. Um, or I got stories about people giving me opportunities because I looked out for them. Like they like, all right, well, my name gets mentioned a lot because I look out for people. So that in itself is like, the best payout that I can really, tell you for real. You know, like I said, just being reputable, being having a good reputation with people that actually opens the door up to a lot of opportunities. Like whenever somebody thinks of a video, it's like or a studio, Hit Lab automatically pops in some people's head. Or if they think about like a music video, like my name automatically pops in their head because they already know like I didn't put in so much work out here and I'm consistent and I mean I'm good at what I do. So, you know.
Which what's funny what you said definitely just brings me to like two more questions. So one, I guess speaking of opportunities at this stage in your career, even maybe this stage in your life, are you seeking new opportunities? Are you still looking for more avenues, or are you just looking to double down and I guess get as close as to perfection at what you already do?
I'm a little bit of both. For opportunity, I really be I really live this shit. So what I do day in day out, the videos and music, it's something that I've been doing for such a long time that it's literally a way of life now. It's not something that I go do. Like I don't just go to the studio to do something. It's like my life is the studio. My life is music. Even when I don't want to talk about shit, it's like I always talk about it because it's just my life. You know what I mean? So, um, as far as like, of course, me just doing it, as far as like any opportunities that come about, like I'm all for taking them. If they sound good to me or whatever, like if a good opportunity approaches me, I would definitely look into it. Look into it to see where it can put me at. But I'm not saying that it has to be life changing or nothing like that.
So okay, I get it. What you do now, it ain't the end all be all, but it's definitely for life though. It's a lifestyle, not.
Right.
So what's some other I guess to make it a lifestyle, what's some things you might tell yourself or habits you set to keep yourself so consistent at what you do?
I mean, to be honest, this having a good balance with personal life versus like your business life. I like to take hikes and walk. I like to get in tune with nature. I like to turn my phone off and not be on social media, not be in communication with people sometimes. So that way I can keep my mental health up. Because mental health has a major play in everything that I do. If my mental health is not right, then I'm not coming at projects the right way. I'm not coming at videos. I'm not coming at songs the right way because I'm too busy being unbalanced. So, um, just keeping myself balanced for real. Like really keeping myself balanced. Like I'm talking about mental health and my regular health, eating right, all that shit has to factor in with all of it.
Now, I definitely seen you definitely have a story of triumph, right? Where you continue to grow past curiosity and has led you to a lot of things.
Mhm.
But we're talking about mental health now. So if I may ask you, in your perspective, is it easier for you to be creative when everything in life is all good, or when your back is up against the wall?
I guess the timing of that would factor that in. So if I'm like, of course, I gotta go through shit in order to have content to talk about, or in order to find myself motivated to do stuff. So sometimes it is that period of time that goes fast where I am going through a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And then when I'm done going through that, then it's like when I get my mental health right, then it's a lot easier. Uh, or when I get my balance right, it's a lot easier to take on the amount of work that I take on. Now, the type of work doesn't really matter. Like I can be going through some shit, and maybe I need to do a video to get my anger or my frustration out or whatever. But as far as the timing of the work, like I get a lot more done when I am balanced. Like I mean my mental health, my physical health, all that.
For sure. Okay. No, and I see. Okay, so balance is a big thing, right? So how how much time do you spend hands on working? How much time do you spend studying and perfecting the craft behind the scenes? And then you also mentioned like hiking and reading and walking, like, and how much time do you spend completely distracted to keep you maybe inspired?
Shit, I ain't never really put a time limit on it. All that kind of comes and goes for real. Like um, I spend a lot of time studying when I can. When I'm not doing music videos or not editing or not in the studio, I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm on YouTube. I'm reading books. I'm studying my craft. I'm studying myself. Like I do a lot of self acknowledging exercises and shit like that. You know, um, like I say, a lot of that has to do with being balanced too. So I try to keep it all like you say, just all leveled out between all of that stuff. If I can, but sometimes it ain't about what I want. Sometimes it's just what God gives me to handle.
Bag. And speaking of which, God gave you a blessing they call daughters, right? So now,
Yeah.
outside of just balancing life for yourself, how do you factor and balance life for somebody else? Like, child,
It's a challenge, bro. It's a challenge. I try to keep my daughter motivated and keep her active in what I'm doing too, because she look up to me. So a lot of the stuff that I do and a lot of things that I teach her, it comes from a good place. So it's real easy to keep her grounded and keep her around and motivated because I'm motivated. Once she sees dad aspiring and being determined, then it makes her want to do it the same in her own world and stuff like that. So
how do you think it improved you? I see that being mindful of what you put out there is definitely an improvision in itself.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But what other ways have even being a father kind of bettered you as even a person or a businessman or a creator?
It taught me to be more patient. It taught me to really consider people's feelings, consider people, consider a lot of other things that I only looked into myself as. You know what I'm saying? So definitely patience. You got to be patient when you got a kid. So that taught me how to be patient with everybody and really like take people's words in consideration and stuff like that. You know,
For sure. Oh man, you enjoy it every day though.
every day, man, every day. It's a blessing. Like having a little mini me. You know what I mean? Like it's cool. I love it. I love being a father.
We can definitely tell. I'm like, man, it's like I'm still trying to figure out how does he have time for all this. It's like, and he's ever so present in the stories, man.
Yeah,
So
man.
I definitely want to, even on camera, off camera, man. Kudos for that, man. You
Appreciate
definitely
it.
inspiring people. People like me, man. Just ain't no excuses, man. Just make it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Got you.
speaking of other people, right now we're gonna take a even broader. What's maybe your opinion on the music culture as far as the 757?
The music content 757 is actually really dope, man. It's a lot better than where I seen it come from. We used to have a real local sound, and I feel like that we starting to develop a lot of different artists out here that are tapping into their own sound, and they consistent, and they want to put out good stuff, good product and stuff like that. So the music in the 757 right now is lit. If I had to use one word, lit. If I had to use three words, it'd be lit as fuck. You know what I mean? We out here, man. Genius, 75, ain't the road.
Definitely, like, and being engulfed in such, so much talent, man. I guess, what are the pros and cons of being uh an artist from out this area? And it did have a maybe subpar perspective, but now we're kind of growing to see a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, even anything like, what could probably be your pros and cons about being an artist just from Step Five specifically?
Okay, pros would be the fact that 75 is pretty small in comparison to other major cities. So if you do something dope and you promote it well, then it'll get out there in Virginia. So, the cons is that it's almost like a popularity contest. Like it's so crazy that like on a lot of shows that I see out here, it be a lot of, don't get me wrong, it be some dope artists, but it's a lot of the same names that you see all over social media. And it's a lot of people that's not so social media driven to post content every day, but they're still dope. You know, there's this guy that I know that I don't even know if he's from here. I don't think he's from here, but he made a post, or he tagged like a couple months ago. He just started tagging like random artists and their songs all on his story, and they all was from 7-5, and they was artists that I never even heard of. And he ended up making all of them and putting them, like he would tag them on their stories, and he would make a highlight reel with everybody music. And it was like a whole bunch of posts of just random people out here that I didn't even know existed that makes fire ass music. So a con would be like the fact that we're not tapping into our own artists out here. We're not tapping into our own music scene. We're actually just waiting to see who makes the most noise, and then that's who we look at. But we don't dig, we don't dig for those artists. We don't look for certain artists. We just, it is what it is. That's a con. We got so much talent here, so much talent that it's a lot of people that we should get behind and make them pop. But, like I said, it's more of a favoritism or a popularity type thing here. So that's definitely a con.
Lots, lots of perspective on that one, because definitely, uh, to say a small city is a pro, is definitely looking at, what I'm saying, looking at the other side of the same coin. I like that perspective. And even while we're still on the topic of the area, bro, you in my books are like also a foodie, bro. Like,
Oh yeah.
you're definitely like a foodie.
Oh
So
yeah, definitely.
while we in the area, right? Let's say we ain't about to go to the shows. We already just seen everybody. So what we going to eat, man? The unpopular place nobody know about.
Man, we going to Saucy Thai cuisine, man. Saucy Thai. I don't know if y'all ever had Thai food. Thai food is delicious, man.
What we eating while we go there?
The Pad Kung Fight. No, what is it? The Pad Kung Gu. It's flat noodles with broccoli, garlic cloves, chicken, or your choice of protein. It's good. This is some good shit, bro. Some good shit. Oh man, Thai and Indian food is my two favorite foods.
Indian food.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you Nah, we ain't gonna do them like that. We ain't gonna do. Where did that come from? I mean, everybody got to eat, but is it just like necessity, or do you actually have like sort of guilty pleasure for food?
It's a little bit of both, for real, man. Like I don't like eating. I'm very finicky about food, and a lot of the Americanized places I'm not really feeling no more. Like you can go anywhere and get a burger. You can go anywhere and get some chicken. You can go anywhere to get certain items and shit like that. But um, as of now, I've been tapping into a lot of cultural places, like places outside of what I normally eat, like Indian and African food, and just different cuisines, and because you never know, you might go to a place that you never had before, end up being your favorite restaurant. Instead of going to like the Chili's or the Applebee's, the typical places. There's so many different places out here, so many mom and pop stores. I'm real big on mom and pop stores too. Like they give you the most food for your buck, and they usually put a little bit of love in it.
So now I understand it. It's about the value. It's about that uniqueness, that specialty. You ain't
Yeah.
gonna get the same thing at a franchise you're gonna get there. So speaking of which, what is your specialty, your uniqueness? What is something about you can't nobody get anywhere else?
I listen. I'm a listener, so I know not everybody listens. Is that what you mean? Like, what is the quality of myself
I can understand why that's actually a very special quality.
Yeah, man. We in a world where everybody want to talk, nobody wants to listen. So I'm big on listening to people. Uh, understanding where they coming from, the quality. I feel like not everybody here with it.
You got maybe an example where that being just a listener has maybe benefited you?
Oh yeah, of course, man. The women, women, boy,
Oh
women.
man. So
Sometimes I sit there and let a female just talk my head off about her whole day, her week, her month, her baby daddy, this, that. And I'll sit there and I'll just be listening, and then I let them know that I'm listening by reiterating or responding or re-saying something that they say. That be turning them the fuck on. Something.
it definitely works, man. It definitely
Oh,
works.
yeah.
So speaking of the ladies, they probably are listening too, and they probably gonna want to know some basic questions, bro. So when is your birthday?
My birthday is August 29th. I'm a Virgo. I got the same birthday as Michael Jackson.
Greatness in the making, and so they can do whatever if they will with that information.
They can do what they want. Look up the horoscope, figure out the traits and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Can we look up what's going on? Is he is Rayzr single? Is he taking these days? What he got going on, man?
Man, I ain't even gonna say all of that, man. Y'all just gonna be in the mystery lane for that one. Might be taken, might be single, might be complicated. Who knows? Know what I mean, I'm gonna keep them in the dark with that one. You know what I mean?
You just gotta tap in and find out.
Right.
You just gotta tap in and find out.
Gotta
Right?
tap in and find out.
So the more we fuck around, the more we find out, right?
Right.
And we still finding out to this day, right? So as you live on, what are some things you're still figuring out you need to improve on? Maybe personally, career wise, creatively. What are some things you still seek to improve?
I still need to be consistent, man. I'm consistent, but I feel like that they say the jack of all trades is the master of none. So um find myself feeling like I'm not doing enough in certain areas. Um, you know, uh even though I am definitely doing enough, I just feel like I'm not because I know my own limits, stuff like that. So I feel like I need to push my own creative limits. I'm not trying to be complacent in what I do. I want to always be pushing myself to be the next best thing of the next best version of myself. Sometimes I tend to sit still a little bit longer than what I should. I get complacent and lost within the work that I do. That I have to like break my mindset and understand that it's about progression and leveling up more. Even when I feel like I'm at a perfect place at the perfect time, I just don't want to get stagnant. It's something that I gotta work on.
Definitely like how you brought that up, because how can you improve if you ain't making progress, right?
Exactly.
What is your measurable? What are you measuring if you can't, if you're not, you know what I'm saying? So this is definitely the why wait. So we definitely have to advocate why should you wait? Ain't none. So even within yourself, how outside of chasing progress, how do you break your mind around uh procrastination?
Um, to be honest, the way I break myself out of procrastinating is just waiting until I'm really, really ready. But sometimes you need that recharge stage. Like I definitely take recharge breaks. Even when I get opportunities, even when I feel like, yo, I need to do something, I need to do this, I need to do that. If I don't feel right, I won't do it. Like it doesn't matter what it is. If I don't feel right, I won't do it. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So, um, just making sure the timing is right. You know what I mean? That breaks procrastination. You know what I mean? If I don't plan on doing a whole bunch of work back to back, then it's not the right time to do it. 'Cause that's what type of person I am. I got ADHD. Like I can't just sit and do one thing and then just let that shit just be the one thing I do that week. Like, no, okay, that's done. I'm over here now. All right, that's done. I'm over here now. You know what I'm saying? So kind of hard to procrastinate when you got a plate full. Keep the plate full. That's how to break.
Yeah. There you
Procrastinate.
go.
Keep the plate full.
There you go. Keep the plate full. Is it because how do you keep the balance between, or is there a balance between yourself, what you're willing to do for yourself, and how far you extend for other people? Because you definitely have part of your plate is a lot of other people. You didn't shoot 500 of your own music videos.
Right.
Yeah. So how do you keep that? Or is there one? Is there like a set balance between yourself and other people?
It is. Like I say, I don't do anything if I'm not ready to do it. So like if even if I'm free or whatever and people need music videos, if I feel like I need that break or if I feel like I gotta focus on myself, I tell them I'm not available. I'm booked up. You know what I'm saying? Until I feel like I need to open that door up for myself to work with clients again. You know, but I try to balance that. Like when I be in rapper mode, I don't shoot as many videos. But I got a time limit with that. I only got about a month and a half to really like hit the studio and make as many songs as I want to before my plate starts getting full with videos again. So I try to balance that shit out. You know what I mean? I try to knock videos out so I can focus on music and shit. So I can get it done.
Definitely. Well, I guess the staying on task is definitely a fine way to find that balance. So we've covered a lot, right? And I think people have learned a lot, and sometimes you still got to spell it out for the people in the back, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna give you two options, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to give everybody the A to Z blueprint on how to be a rapper in 2023, or do you want to give them the videographer blueprint? It's your choice. What sauce you ready to drip today? You can give them both because you for the people now. You can give them both.
Let's give them both.
So all right, I'm
Give 'em
I'm
both.
I'm young. I'm nothing but passionate, motivated. I say, yo, my New Year's resolution 2023. I'm gonna be a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to Rayzr book a School of Hard Knocks, what's the A through Z step plan I'm gonna learn?
All right. So as a rapper, man, be consistent. Find you some producers to work with. They will develop. They will help develop your sound. They will help develop you as an artist. Stop going to goddamn YouTube and typing in little baby type beat and all that shit. Find you a dope ass producer. Lock in with them. Boom. Okay. Be like I say. Be consistent. Stop thinking that the shit that you do is just the hottest shit. You know what I mean? Because you got to get in the habit of making a whole lot of shit. You know what I mean? So don't get complacent because you went to the studio and laid three bangers. Now you ain't going back to the studio for 3-4 months because you're trying to promote the bangers. I don't know. Sometimes that works for people, sometimes it don't. But in my ideas, as far as being 2023, you have to be consistent as fuck because you're in competition with a lot of people, not just rappers. You're in competition with a lot of people that's on social media. You're in competition with a lot of people that do stupid rap, like parody rap. You in competition with all these people. It's not just about the demographic no more. It's about the everything. So your best bet is to just be consistent as fuck. Keep going to the studio, lock in with these studios, get your sound right. Make sure that you're pushing yourself as an artist. Make sure you're reading so your vocabulary will expand. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you enjoy life. Make sure that you balance, like I told you before. Um, and get into the habit of putting your stuff out. Don't sit on your shit. You know what I'm saying? Those are the A to Z's to be a rapper in 2023.
Because
I
I
mean,
promise you, everything else gonna figure itself out.
right. Everything
Like
gonna figure everything.
now, find you a producer that was
Yeah.
stop thinking your shit is the hot shit.
Right.
And I think to do that, tell somebody who ain't your friend to play it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Get that tough skin up. He ain't
Yeah.
did nothing but tell y'all some real gems over here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And stay in the studio, stay consistent.
Stay working.
Why you drop one song, now you ain't been in the studio.
Right.
You ain't gonna build no traction that way.
You get complacent, quick, you're gonna burn out. You're gonna burn out because you're not building your tolerance up to be able to dish out so much stuff. You know what I mean? You look at industry artists and shit like that, they putting out so much music. They have so much music recorded. That's your competition. Those are the people that you should work for. That you should be feeling like I need to work towards they shit. You know what I mean? Not no local people. You can't be in competition with local people. Gotta be in competition with the industry.
The best of the best, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Definitely. So now he done gave y'all great advice on a rapper. Maybe you don't want to sign up for that. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe that sound like too much. Let's get the A to Z on how to be a videographer. But I promise you, that's probably not gonna be no easier, right?
No, it's not.
So what's the A to Z for a videographer? Right
A to Z for videographer. Be consistent as fuck. Drop hella videos. Come up with other ways of getting your stuff out there. Sometimes it might not be music videos. It might be interviews. It might be in studio sessions. It might be vlogs. It might be something else. Like if you want to be a videographer, you got to tap into your niche. It might not be what everybody else is doing. So you got to go grab your camera, get off YouTube, and grab your camera and go out there and just shoot and see what you can come up with. You know what I mean? You got to be consistent with that shit. You got to be good at what you do. You got to push your creative boundaries. You know what I mean? Like if you shot a video a certain day one day, then shoot it a different way another day. You know what I mean? With those different random ways of you learning how to do things, it's gonna help you develop into a better videographer based off of hands-on experience instead of you going to YouTube and trying to type in like how to do this effect, how to do that effect. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not about the effect. It's all on how you shoot. Learn your camera first and foremost. Learn the camera settings, learn them shit from A to Z, just like I'm telling you from A to Z. Learn your shutter rate, learn your frames per second, learn all of that because all of that shit that shit is more important than the fun shit. A lot of people just jump into videography and they just want to learn how to do the cool looking fun shit. And next thing you know, they've been doing videos for 3-4 years and they shit looks cheesy because they didn't learn how to work their camera. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that it's not even just in the camera, but it's also the lenses that you use. So make sure you are truly investing in yourself. If you bought a $200 camera, bust your ass and go get the $400 camera next. Once you get the $400 camera, get the $1,000 camera. Just keep going up and pushing yourself. If you really take this shit serious, and everything else will fall into place. Boom. A to Z. A quick A to Z.
Drop the gem.
Drop the gems.
Told you how to do it. Once again, I don't know if y'all done heard both of them. Both of them said get up the fuck off YouTube, right?
Hmm?
It's a very useful tool, but don't let it be your crutch.
Don't let it be your crutch.
Get up off your ass and go do it.
Right.
Guess what? You got to stay consistent.
Got to.
You go consistently sit on your ass, or you go consistently go put this work in and go learn it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
Nothing but real. And then learning your equipment, so underrated. You know, I think because even from every aspect, if you don't know your tools, man, you always gonna have to pivot back. Your fundamentals messed up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You don't know what's going on in your game, right?
Right.
So, Mr. Man of Mr. Do It All,
So all the above.
all the above, right
all
there.
the above.
So, okay, multiple choice. Which one we like more? Making the music, shooting the video, or all the above?
Damn. Making the music.
Why is that? Why you pick that one?
Because I find more of myself through making music. And it's more therapeutic. Doing videos is more of a talent, but making music is more therapy.
Understood. So, okay, no, that's cool. That's dope. That makes a lot of sense. Shooting the videos probably seems more like a service, I guess.
A third
Job, yeah. So even with yourself, right? So you've achieved a lot, put out a lot of work, and still mind blowing. You're still looking to put more on your plate and constantly improve, right?
Right.
But even with all that, if you had to encapsulate everything thus far, right? Like, what would like your life lesson be thus far?
My life lesson is man, don't give up. Don't give up. Simple. Don't give up. Like it's gonna be them times where you wanna throw in the towel. Those are the most times that you gotta just keep going. You gotta pick yourself up. Keep going. Never give up. Never. Ever.
You got a specific moment
Ever.
you almost did and regretted
Every week.
it?
Every single week I be ready to say, can I curse?
Go ahead.
I be ready to say, fuck this shit. You can ask my close friends. I'll be like, man, fuck, god damn, fuck this shit.
What's the most annoying part about doing what you do?
Just the direction switch. Like I go from shooting an R&B video on Monday, then tomorrow, the next day I gotta shoot a fucking trap video. Then Wednesday I gotta record a gospel singer. You know what I mean? Like just that mental switch is the most like annoying thing for real. And not only that, but also shooting videos that are running gun style. I like, don't get me wrong, they quick. Like running gun videos are videos where you just pull up, you don't got no concept, no written treatment, no nothing. You just start shooting, and after like they cool and all that, but it takes more on the spot creativeness. And then sometimes when I edit the videos, they kind of be like all over the place for real, and I gotta make them something. Not saying that that's like something too bad, but you know, it gets challenging. It gets annoying after a while because it's like I would freak a video if I actually had time to put something together and shit like that. You know how that go. People don't really got time.
They ain't got time. They ain't got the creativity. Man.
Right.
They, everybody want to do it the same way, but that's why we bring people like you to come here and give them some light and some inspiration on how to do it another way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So even as much, because y'all gonna have to play this video again, take some notes, play it again, make sure you understood the notes, because there was a lot of gems in here. And I'ma still ask you for one more, right? What's, even despite whatever the profession is, what is still some advice you would give to somebody chasing whatever it is they believe in or their passion?
What's some advice that I would give them?
Yeah.
Make sure that what you're doing is what you really want to do, and don't like I say, don't give up. You gotta keep pushing. Keep your eye on the prize. You know what you are today isn't who you are tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like it's all on you. It's really all on you. It's on you to read the opportunities that come to you, and it's on you to know when to strike when the iron's hot. Keep your sword sharp at all times. Never get dull.
Never get dull. And let me tell you, this interview was anything less than dull. It's definitely been a pleasure to sit down with the one and only, man, Rayzr. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Man of many talents, yo. I definitely enjoyed this conversation myself thoroughly. Just for the people at home still watching, go ahead and once again let them know who you are, where they can find you at, and what you got out and what you got coming up.
It's your motherfucking boy, the faithless goon, aka Rayzr, aka Shot by Rayzr, aka the Loch Ness of Virginia, cause everybody heard of me and never seen me. Nah, but you can find me on Instagram. I'm on IG at Rayzr_VB. That's RAYZR_VB. Or you can hit me up on the gram on the video page. It's Shot by Rayzr. That's Shot by RAYZR. I'm on all music platforms, all streaming platforms under Rayzr. Like I said, I got 17 albums out. Other videos, you can look me up on YouTube, RAYZR. You know what I mean? And if you ain't heard of me yet, you're gonna hear about me. So, you know what I mean? Like, even if you don't want to go look that up, you'll see. You'll see.
It's undeniable. If you step inside this Heaven 5, this name is coming up. It's coming up.
Here, baby.
I can guarantee you that you might see it on a title card. The first music video you see. It's coming up. But so to you. You should be coming up right now, coming up with some new ideas on how to get up off your ass and go get your dreams, man.
Right.
Because this is the Why Wait podcast. Once again, I don't even know why I have to keep asking y'all, why are you waiting, man?
Stop waiting.
Stop waiting. Go get up and get it. It's been another segment just like that for y'all, man.
Yes, sir. We out.